Hey guys, welcome to Waste Not Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and we take junk, cast-off items, and just things lying around and turn them into home decor.
These are the things that were lying around. They were the old baluster, however.
It's from the old staircase that was in the loft at the church that is now our shop. And they have been sitting on the side of the church building for what, like a year now?
Oh, solid year, yeah.
So clearly they're going to do well outside. What we're going to be working on is an outdoor buffet table. So if you guys have followed
But we're building it in the kitchen because it's raining.
Well, and we're live. If you guys have followed us for a while, we recently have been working on a back pergola that I don't even think we put an actual video on.
Not a video
maybe eventually. Maybe we'll add some footage on Friday's video. And anyways, we're having people over on Saturday and we have nowhere to put the food. So Zeb, did you buy this wood or was this wood just in the garage?
So this is lumber that I've had. Some is like 3 pieces are scrap that I pulled out of a wall. 2 pieces are just new lumber that's just been sitting in the barn for a long time. The legs are definitely scrap. These legs are what would take me the longest to make if I were to turn them on the lathe. Probably I'd say about 6 or 7 hours of turning to get them all nice and tuned down.
It doesn't take you that long.
To cut them and put them all together and glue them up and all that, yeah.
And then when we did all the renovation at the church shop, we pulled out all the wood. So we have like a giant stack of 2x4s and 2x6s in our barn that we've got to start building with. So I'm super excited to get this started. I was going to do on Friday the free furniture that we got, but I think Furniture Friday may be us building a farmhouse table. So this is going to be a buffet table, but we'll have a farmhouse table that will also go on our back porch.
That'll be like maybe more in depth. We've done it before, but it's been a long time and those videos get buried.
Yeah, we're going to do outdoor furniture and we'll have to go to the hardware store and find a really good water-based outdoor sealer. We get asked about that a lot.
I think we have some in the garage. It's I can't remember.
Is it Kills Clear?
No, we used it on the floors.
Oh, it's outdoor stuff though?
Yeah, it's rated for outdoors.
We'll have to look. If we don't have anything, we'll buy something. I'm going to be mixing up cottage color Blue Hills with crockery, and I'm actually going to mix up way more than I need for this project because I want to paint the table base of the farmhouse table we build the same. And so I'm going to be mixing up these colors. These are actually rated for outside, but we're going to be distressing the legs, staining the top. So we'll actually wind up doing every inch, top, bottom, underside with an outdoor sealer to help protect it because...
Well, in the winter, there's going to be snow like sitting on it.
We are bad. We don't really ever cover our furniture. Just sits outside. Maybe this year we will because we'll have something worth covering.
Yeah. So I am going to be making a lot of noise. I decided, A, that I didn't have enough time before the live stream started. Why won't this clamp work? And B, that I wanted to show you like all the steps like live real time. So I am going to be drilling. Yes, we're in the kitchen. The drop cloth's going to catch 90% of that. It'll be okay. And also it's going to make a little noise. So I may take my mic off. If you got questions, Jamie knows how to build these too. She can answer all your questions.
I don't know about that, but I can try to answer questions. I have about 1 3/4 pints of Blue Hills and I'm going to dump that into my bowl. It's not mixed up. That's why it was so dark when it first came out. When you buy cottage color, please, 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 please stir it up. Don't just shake it because the pigment will separate.
Okay, so what I like to do, these aren't planed. So I'm going to put some glue on with a hope and a prayer that it's going to stick to something because usually what I do is I rip them down the sides, plane them down, get the edges nice and square so they touch. But the glue is not going to be what's holding this together. I'm going to screw it all together and the glue is going to help. This is Tight Bond 3 in this little squeezy bottle. It's rated for outdoor use, waterproof. It dries pretty quickly. So I'm only putting glue on 3 sides of the boards. Going to lay them down, and then we're going to clamp them together.
This is literally a table made from scraps. So Zeb could do more precise carpentry work. But I wanted to
I usually
rustic.
Yeah, I usually plane everything down, cut because what happens is the lumber yard, when you buy these from the hardware store, they round the edges for you on all this lumber. It's not like full dimension. Okay. You may hear Cody outside. He's not super happy that it's raining and we made him stay out there because he went and got all wet.
The dogs are outside because Rex had to go to the bathroom and it didn't get all off. So Rex is hanging out there till Zeb has time to help him with his bum. Our golden doodle has a real struggle with that. He came inside. I was like, "You're going back outside. We gotta go live." And it's like drizzling. It's not even raining anymore.
So these big Bessie clamps, I've had them a long time. I don't know if they're still making them. They're like $60 when I got them. I should have like 4 of them, but when we bought them at the time, 2 was all I could afford when we first started building farm tables. And I've only ever had 2 and I've made it work. It's been fine. And they are hard used.
All right, I think I got everything out of here.
So you're going to notice this is going to bow a little. I'm going to take that bow out in a minute. I'll show you how I do that.
I'm stirring up paint. That's what I'm doing. It's actually kind of pretty when it's not all mixed together. It's like a modern art, like a paint pour. It's because it has a built-in top coat. So I'm going to mix this all up, and then I'm going to slowly add crockery so I get the color I want. And I'm just going to be painting these while Zeb works on the top. And then we'll see how far we get in this video. And then whatever doesn't get finished in this video, we will finish up for the Furniture Friday video because we're going to build a farm table on that and work on the back patio. I like to, I don't know, comment below. Let me know if you're like me. When you need to get projects done, you like to have deadlines. So people are like, why do you sign up for all this stuff? So I signed up for this dinner because I knew I wanted a farm table. So it gave me.
Yeah, the truth is coming out here.
We also we had to get the pergola up because we had the youth over. It's not quite finished. I'm hoping we get a little bit more finished on the pergola and get the farm table done for this event. And then maybe we'll host another event. We'll get things done. It's a crazy week. Yesterday we were out with the youth at the shooting range in the evening. And then in the morning, I was with the little kids ages 7 to 11 for like a day camp. And then tomorrow, I am speaking at a club for young entrepreneurs about business. And then Saturday we have this. Oh, and then Friday we're volunteering at the Temple Open House in Saratoga Springs.
It's a busy church week.
So we have a lot of church things going on this week. And then, well, tomorrow's talking to that youth group is not church related. It's like just a local group for entrepreneurs, but still volunteer work. And then Saturday, in the middle of my day, I got to drive to Ogden because Eliza has cheer camp and they're going to do their little performance afterwards, and I want to watch it. So that's why Friday is going to be Farm Table Friday, not just Furniture Friday.
Which will probably be built on Thursday.
Yeah, because it goes up at 5 a.m.
Maybe more this afternoon.
Because it's just crazy.
All right, so I'm taking the bow out of this table here with these 2 pieces. And you can do this a lot of different ways. You can clamp it from both sides, or, you know, because it follows the pressure of the clamp. So if you put a clamp on top, on bottom, on top, on bottom, and you got a bunch of clamps, it's a better job. But I just get away with doing it like this. So now I've got my 2 boards. It's nice and flat. It's not. I could come through here and do more work with like a hammer and get it even flatter, but it's going outside. And I'm not planing it all down. Like I said, usually I run this through the thickness planer and cut all the edges down.
So this is 1 3/4 pints Blue Hills to about 3 tablespoons of crockery. And for whatever reason, when you add crockery to Blue Hills, it gets kind of a sagier green, which is what I'm going for, and it will dry darker. So I'm just trying to give you my recipe in case you want to create this color.
This is one of the most important tools that I have when woodworking. This is a countersink bit. It's going to allow me to recess the head of the screw. I can put plugs in if I need to. And it also helps keep the wood from splitting.
All right, before I commit to painting all this, I'm going to just paint one part and I'll get the heat gun out and we'll see if I added enough crockery. I might need to add more.
For those of you that are going to ask, I do have a Craig jig and I'm way faster with this and I feel like it does the same job for this application.
We bought a jig so he could make me cabinets.
I did use it a bunch.
But not on my cabinets.
Yeah, let me know. Watch for comments, Jamie. Let me know if this is too loud. I'll pull my mic off if it is.
Okay, I'll watch. I'm going to heat gun this in a minute. Desiree says she does her best work at last minute. I think I do all my minutes. All right, let us know if that's too loud.
Is that too loud?
Nobody's commented yet. I'm gonna go grab the heat gun.
Because I got about 10 screws, or not 10, like 50 screws, actually, not 10. So I'm just angling it in at about a 45-degree angle, about an inch out.
They said it's not too bad.
Okay. Hopefully the mic's doing the
Renee's
noise
usually the good indicator because she wears earbuds. So that's how we know. All right, I'm gonna heat
I'm
gun
gonna be in
this
front
and
of the
make
mic
sure I
for
like
just
it.
a sec.
Careful if you're ever heat gunning this because it will bubble if you stay in one space for too long. I actually think this color is good. What do you think?
No, that's a good color.
So 1 3/4 pints to 3 tablespoons crockery. So like if you were just using 1 pint, I just do like 2 tablespoons crockery to get this color. Renee says, turn down your sound if it's loud. It's not too loud for her. So, all right, perfect. Jane says, because she's the daughter of a contractor, that's not too loud for her.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just get working painting these balusters with our mix of Blue Hills and crockery. Where did you get the tabletop? Zeb's building it with wood that we had in the barn. Some of it is from our remodel of the shop because we pulled out every single board. So we have lots of wood and ready to project up. And we'd like to reclaim that space. So we're going to have to start building some stuff. And I was going to do on Friday a hutch and some chairs we got for free, but we actually don't really have anywhere in the shop to put them. So I'm hoping to sell a couple more pieces. So this Friday, we're going to do more table building and furniture Friday and some chair painting. I've got to get some chairs for the farm table we're going to put outside. And really, if you wanted to, you could do this same build like what Zeb's doing for a farm table. It'd be a little skinny, so you can maybe add one more board.
So our table over there is only like 31 inches wide.
Yeah.
32 maybe, I don't know, somewhere in there.
I'd say if you added one more 2x6, this would be wide enough for a skinny farm table.
I had one, but we want it to be kind of narrow up against the back
this is
wall.
for a buffet. We had a table out there. We recently took it all apart because it was old when we got it. And we parted it out. And I've been wanting another table to put food on out there. And the one we had was way too deep for a buffet table. So this is going to work out well.
So normally I would mark these all out, evenly spaced. We're winging it. We're winging it here.
It is an outdoor table that's going to get hammered.
It'll be very sturdy when we're all done.
It's fine. I feel like we have to preface with, yes, we know how to do this meter, but we're not. Because we'll get a carpenter on here and be like, that's not how you do it. And also, I probably should sand these down because some of the original finish is chipping off, but I want to distress this and have it look aged. So I'm actually leaving the chipping original finish on there. So that way when I sand it, the paint will chip off. And then we'll seal everything later with an outdoor sealer. So that way all the wood's protected.
If I was getting real serious about building this tabletop, I would tongue it and groove it. But you'll see the skirt when I add a skirt on here. Hopefully we get to that on this video. That is going to give it a lot of strength and keep it from bowing and hold it together. All right. These are just 1 5/8 drywall screws. You could use carpenter's or wood screws or multi-purpose. I'm just going with what I had. It'll be fine. Nothing's going to hurt these screws. And I'm starting on this end. I'm going to put like into here in. Then I'm going to move these clamps and put them down over there because I only brought 2 sets of clamps right now. Normally I'm out in the garage, got the whole space, but I don't want to get in Jamie's way right now.
I have very limited space here. I was going to say too, if you guys want to build a farm table, a couple suggestions. If you go to buy turned legs, very expensive. So go to the thrift store, buy a table that you just want the legs for. You can do that. You can use balusters or banisters, whatever this is called, the newel posts that we have that we salvaged.
Well, even newel posts are cheaper, like at the hardware store. You can get them new,
Yeah,
cut
the
them down.
skinnier ones than table legs, because turning a table leg is hard. Buying hand-turned table legs is expensive. So if you can salvage them some way, it's better than starting from scratch, because this is what takes the longest.
So I had a little bit of gap here that I wanted to fix. It was more than I liked. So I just took the clamp, twisted it. Now it's all nice and tight. And I don't know if you guys can see that on that end. Probably not. I'm just going to start running these screws in. Now this drill is going to be louder, so let me know. Let me know on the noise.
Oh, that's way loud. Maybe take your mic
Yeah,
off.
I'm going to take my mic off for that one.
That's the impact drill.
I'm going to bring the mic over here by Jamie.
That's the serious business drill.
Yeah. Well, it runs a minute without.
We'll just put it over here.
I'm going to try to hurry.
All right. Do you ever not hurry?
Actually, no. I'm always in a hurry.
All right. Now we're on to table leg
I was
2.
hauling gravel the other day.
They can't hear you talk.
Oh, I was just hauling gravel and it was getting dark on me. I was like running the other day.
Zeb says he was hauling gravel and it was getting dark and he had to run everywhere. If you guys haven't watched it, go to the Jamie and Zeb channel. We put up a new vlog. Buttercup makes a cameo. We show the garden, which honestly isn't that impressive. Like the hardscaping is good. Now I just need things to grow. But we need it to be just a little bit warmer so things really grow. I'm actually going to break down and buy some tomato starts. They said you're not too loud, but that's because we took the mic off. The mic is on the other side. Can you imagine people like just tuning in on the live video on Facebook that have never watched us?
We're building a table in the kitchen.
They're like, what are these people doing?
That's why I built this island like a workbench. It is like reinforced all underneath. It's crazy. I made it for dancing on. That's what I did.
We do not dance on it. I'm not saying it's never happened. You never know what's going to go down at the Ray house. It's a party over here. Probably on the next vlog video, you might get some footage of us with Zeb's new work toy.
Yes.
For JRV Properties. That's our property holding company.
Out to the property.
Yeah. For Father's Day, he's getting a new Polaris Ranger crew. And we're supposedly they
well, if the check gets there.
Yeah, we should pick it up today. It's got a little dump bed on it, so we can take some time and go out to the property every now and then with it and get started working on that. You know, we like to start one project before we finish another. What happens is we get bored.
So that it doesn't take forever.
Yeah, sometimes you get bored. Oops, I did not mean to set that.
One thing that I would tell you, if you don't have like old lumber sitting around in your barn, go down and you want to do this. Go down to the hardware.
Hold on, they can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, are you done screwing now?
No, not yet. Okay, real quick. One thing I would tell you about lumber, if you're going to build a table like this and you don't have salvage wood or old wood that's been sitting around in your barn for months and months, I would recommend going down, getting your lumber, letting it season for about 30 days, dry all the way out, real nice, and then do your build. Because if you don't, your wood will shrink on you if you're getting it straight from the lumber store. I don't care which lumber yard you're working with, it's going to be green and it's going to shrink.
So what color am I using? So this is 1 3/4 pints Blue Hills to 3 tablespoons crockery. So it's not a huge difference from Blue Hills, but it does mute it down a little bit. What are you doing? You mean you're moving my situation? Okay, I'm going over here. I can't read comments, so
It's all right. It'll just be a minute.
Oh, I spilled some on the floor. Hold, please. You've moved me, and now I made a mess.
You probably can't see it on camera, but it's got a button that dips. It dips. So forget I'm not mic'd up.
Where's your mic at? You can put it back on until you screw.
I'm going to be screwing in like 3 seconds.
All right. Sorry, guys.
But I only have like 20 more to put in, so shouldn't be too much longer.
Well, then you got to build the skirt. Do you have the wood for the skirt?
Yeah, it's all cut out. I'm actually using it to clamp this right now.
So the bottom of these where it's flat, that's what's going to hook up to the table, and the rounded edge will sit on the ground. We might have to sand this a little bit, flatten it. No, I'm just saying if it rocks a little because this is rounded, all you have to do is just take some heavy grit sandpaper, sand it down, and you can sand it smooth and get the teeter-totter out. Sometimes it's the cement that's not even. So, and in our house, that's probably definitely the case. We need to put a step off our back door here because when they poured the cement, it's lower there, and so water puddles.
Like we told them when they were doing it, just make sure it runs off. The one spot that it pulls up is by both doors.
Yeah. So we just need to pour a little cement step there, and we'll be good.
All right. So this is uneven here, so I'm just going to clamp this down a little bit, and then use it like a fulcrum. Pry it up. Same with this one. It's got a little lip here I don't like.
This is probably going to take 2 coats for full coverage, but I'm getting pretty good coverage with 1 coat here.
Okay, if I get loud again, I'm going to try to hurry as fast as I can with these screws.
I'm just over here painting table legs. You're probably close to my mic. It's all right.
As long as you keep talking the whole time,
I've run out of things to talk about.
Noise cancel out.
I know you guys probably never thought you'd heard me say that I've ran out of things to talk about, but there are times when I don't have any more words.
So this wood, when we initially took them out, I thought it was going to be like a poplar or an alder or something, but it's
pine.
Just like old growth pine. It's got a pretty tight grain on it.
Just pine. That addition wasn't that old. It was done like in the 80s or 90s. So
it was done in the 80s. But it's still
whenever burgundy carpet was popular. That burgundy carpet on the loft was next level. All right. If you guys see me not painting the tops of this, it's just because I'm using my hand to move it, and I'm painting it when I put it over on my drop cloth over here to dry. All right, I'm down to 1 table leg. Then what am I going to do?
It's all right, because I'm going to need that soon.
Well, I need to second coat it, but I'll let you assemble it, and then I'll just touch up in a few spots. Like, it's not going to need...
If we end up having to paint the skirt or whatever, it'll be fine.
Yeah, well, I have more paint. I made lots of this color. I haven't decided, though, do I want the farm table to match this? Or do I want to try to recreate this and paint the chairs this color and do the farm table legs white? So that way it's not all matchy-matchy, because I don't like things too matchy-matchy. I like it to coordinate.
I'm gonna have to go grab the hammer. That's way more bow than I want.
I'm bringing the hammer down. Well, I'm just going to be here brushing the table leg. They always say you're supposed to paint with the grain, but when I've got detail like this on a table leg or a chair, I always just brush side to side. And then I'll brush this part side to side and then fix it out. I used to try to brush up and down, and it took me forever. And then I went to my friend Marcy's house, and she was brushing table legs side to side like this. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so much better.
Okay. This could get loud too.
Everything's going to be loud with Zeb today. It's a little loud.
That was really loud, but it did what I needed.
Everybody's been warned. All right. Can you put your mic back on?
Nope, not yet. Just a few moments. I'm going to be standing in front of the camera here.
Okay, Vicky says, my brother was visiting over the weekend and cut down some trees. When he did, he made me a dozen slices from spruce. Oh, that's nice. Slices are not as easy as one might assume. Sometimes they don't like to slice the way you want them to. And they break. We had to make a bunch of wood slices for a discount tire event. Ironically, it was after Zeb had stopped working there. Yeah. One of their employees hired us.
One of the office gals was like, "Hey, can you do this?" And I was like, "Yes."
These table legs are a little rustic.
Well, Ty and I ripped that banister out when the stairs were just floating there, and we were not.
Well,
I only had Ty for a few minutes, and we were hustling.
That was right before we left for England. The very first time, our goal was to get all the demo done, and so we crushed it, man. We got that done in a week. We demoed all that we were going to demo. We'll see if we can get that done in the cottage. We keep saying we're going to start the cottage, but we really do have so many projects we have to finish up before we get that one going.
The yard's mostly done. It's got some weeding and some cleanup, but all the major hauling stuff around is done.
You still have to take the cement. I mean, not that you have to do this before you start the cottage, but we need to get the cement out of the front yard.
Oh.
Because that is a trip hazard.
I was putting that on the end of the summer. Although people do park out there and walk across that old janky busted cement.
Yeah, it does make me nervous. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this situation. Somebody told me to stop using situation, and clearly I can't. So
it's like saying like.
If that was you, I apologize. I say like and situation, and I also say all right. And so when you start editing your videos, if you're a content creator, you will start learning all the weird things that you say way too much. I actually edit a lot of my all rights and so's out as often as I can when it's not too hard to like cut the video, because I even annoy myself. All right. I'm just putting this over here in case we don't get back to painting.
Okay, so off camera, before we got started here today, I made little marks 1 inch around, all the way around on this so that I knew how far I wanted my skirt to come out. So that way I have an inch lip. I was going to do a 2-inch lip, but it's so narrow that I was like, maybe not a 2-inch lip.
And yes, I did use my kitchen knife to stir that with, and my spoon.
Okay, so
the paint washes off if you don't let it sit there too long.
This bowed on me again.
If you ever come to my house and the handle of your silverware has paint on it, just don't lick that part. It's fine.
Yeah, just don't lick that.
Most of my silverware is from the DI.
So this bowed on me when I released the clamps because this wood's stronger than the screws. So I'm putting this skirt on. I've got it all lined up. And I'm just going to clamp this down and pull everything in. Make sure before I tighten it that it's straight.
Is there something I can do to help you?
Not right at the moment, but soon. Oh, can you give me some blue painter's tape? I need to make a tape flag.
I actually know exactly where some is. I'm going to see if there's some in this drawer, but if there's not, I saw a big 6-pack that I bought for when we were doing the pergola. Oops, it's right here.
Yep.
And we didn't use any painter's tape on the pergola, at least not yet.
No.
Angela says, Jamie, that's a proper tool use. And Junior and Lori says, don't stop saying what you want. I personally like it. I mean, it's just one of those things. I feel like people don't give creators enough grace. Like if they've never made a video, they have no idea what it's like. My biggest pet peeve, I'm going to tell you right now, do not tell me I look tired. Because that's basically saying, hey, you kind of look like crap. You should take a nap. A lot of times it's because I'm not wearing makeup or I legit am tired.
Okay, so I just eyeballed that. Please measure at home. So the tape flag is going to give me my
fix
depth.
the camera?
Yeah. Put this on while I still remember where my mark was.
The other day, I think they were talking to Zeb, and he looked a little rough. He hadn't shaved in a few days, and he was greasy. Is there a link for that bit Zeb used? Which bit?
So it's just a that's a DeWalt like 3/8 wood plug countersink. So and there's like tons of different kinds. So it just depends on what size screw you're using.
So look for a countersink.
This is just a regular 1/2 inch bit here.
A countersink bit is what you need.
You're going to be right in the.
We'll try to get you guys a bunch of. Why is my phone dead? I'll try to get you guys a bunch of links for the video that we put up on Friday. If I don't, remind me.
You need to go find a different drill bit. That one is.
I'll have Zeb make me a list of things you would need, and then I can go on like Amazon and look up all the links and drop them for you. I should. So there's this thing called like Amazon storefront, and I have one. There's just not very much in it. I should work on that because you get like a commission for when people shop, but I never get around to it. Oh, I was going to say, wow, little shameless plug while Zeb's getting a new bit. Go to JamieRayVintage.com, click new to JRV. We got the cutest new, I don't know if Ivy got the towels up yet, but we got the cutest new half apron, towels, these little Crocs, throw pillows, lots of cute new stuff. We also got more plus size maxi dresses. We restocked the leggings as well as the biker shorts. So we've restocked a bunch of stuff. So if you've been waiting, hop over to the website. I would love to say that we could do a shop tour tomorrow, but it's probably not going to happen this week. Maybe next week. My goal is to do 2 Paint-A-Paloozas and 2 shop tours a month. So instead of being every week, it'll be like every other week. And maybe we'll stagger it. Like 1 week you get a shop tour, 1 week you get a Paint-A-Palooza. That way we don't have as many live videos. That is a big situation. I don't even know what you say about that drill. That's a bigger hole maker. Yeah, hole maker. That's what it is.
I've decided that I need to go get a new thing of drill bits or
for Father's Day,
or sharpen these ones. Because
I wanted to get him a new grill, but he doesn't want a new grill.
My grill works fine.
But then he bought a very spendy ATV, so that counts.
All right, run that down to the tape flag. Might have to go get my extension because I don't know if this
Zeb does lots of his own work that most business owners would hire out, so I never feel guilty buying him a tractor or a dump trailer or a new ATV because he works hard for it.
All right. There we have it.
I was thinking though this morning, since you bought the Polaris, we need a toy hauler camper. So we'll sell that one and get a toy hauler camper. Okay. Don't you think that's necessary? I don't like to camp in a tent if I don't have to. Do you guys like to camp in a tent? We're thinking though, since the new property is only half an hour from our house, we could just go there for the day and then come home and sleep. That's my day camping. That's my idea of fun. Eventually we'll build like some sort of cabin cottage out there. But that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Probably a couple years out.
Yeah. We do need to do some stuff on the other property so we can sell it. And maybe we'll get that done this year or next year and get that sold. That's
there we go. Plan. Now I can get down in that hole. All right. I'm going to do 1 for every board.
Okay. So they're held together this way. And then he's holding them together also this way. And having the tension on 2 sides helps things stay straight. So a lot of people like little biscuit joint stuff. But this is a
lot of biscuit joining.
Yeah, and actually we've done biscuit joining and it's not any better.
Not for this.
This is also why we no longer do custom builds. We build it how we want. And then whatever. Are you not angling the cuts? We're just going to have raw ends on the end, and then we'll have.
You might just have to sand. It's going to butt.
I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, I didn't 45 them for this build.
I feel like that's appropriate for this. It's a down and dirty build. Like you'll have most of this table put together in an hour.
I'm trying to get at least one side of the legs on. I have to blow my computer up.
Don't worry, this is just a $5,000 iMac.
It's not that much money.
How much was it?
4,000.
4,000. We bought the iMac because we thought we'd edit on it, and now if we're traveling, we don't edit on the iMac. We edit on our phones, which we mostly edit on our phones anyways.
Better than when I bought this.
Yeah, that is true. Any video that goes on Jamie Ray Vintage these days is all edited on my phone. You can come across, Mom. You need to heat up your water. You can wave at the people. It's the Queen Mother. If you're new here, my mom lives with us. She's here for the public release.
So I put this on here. Going to take this off now. Shouldn't have any bow. That board and screws will hold it. We'll sand this before we go staining it. All these rough little cuts and things. But what I was going to say about this is I'm trying to get at least the legs on so you can see how that happens. So we're going to run the skirt this way, and then I have a shorter board that fits down in the middle, and then we'll sandwich the legs. Instead of doing a 45 with bolts and things, we'll just sandwich the legs in and screw them in.
Welcome to Zeb's show. He builds how he wants.
You can do this. It works really well.
No, I'm not discounting that. I think you do. It works well. You know what I like? When it gets done and it holds together, like I don't care what the underside looks like. Just build it.
All right, so I should have pre-drilled these, but I did not. We decided this morning that we were going to do this instead. And so off camera, I probably spent about an hour prepping and cutting the boards.
Oh, no wonder my phone's dead. I unplugged it for the heat gun. Not you. I unplugged it for the heat gun. I'll do it over here. It's like, why is this phone dead? I thought I had charging. I forgot to plug my phone in, and I need to get one of those charging pads next to my bed where I could just drop it and it charges, but I don't have one.
I have one.
Tracy says, I just need a blow-up mattress, and I'm good. Did my mom go to Hawaii? Yes. So she didn't stay with us. I have a nephew that lives there, and my mom stayed with my nephew because we were like running all the time, and my nephew lives there, so it's not like he was nonstop hiking the island. So it just kind of worked better. And he made sure that she got to Kauai to do her helicopter tour. And she wanted to visit him because obviously she didn't get to Hawaii very often. What app do you use? What app do you use to edit your videos? Oh, you're going this way?
Adobe Rush.
I use Adobe Rush. Originally, I used iMovie, but I've switched to Adobe Rush because it is more powerful. And I'm slowly getting better. Question, what is the purpose of the skirt? So this is just the ledge of the table.
It gives it a ton of strength.
Yeah, so the table legs are going to go in here. And this is going to add strength because the weight will go across not just this board, but this board. It's now connecting to this board. We have screwed in these boards this way, and these are also screwed in together. So you've got lots of different ways that the wood is connected, and you're not putting too much stress on any one point. And that's what's going to give you a strong table. You do not have to use 2x4s. You could use skinnier.
Also, your lumber is so, like, it's not very strong like this, flat waist. Like, if you put 50 pounds in the middle of this and leave it there for a year, your table will be bowed. If you do it like this, it has a lot more shear strength this way, vertically. So you could put 50 pounds on this, just this single board, and it might bow, but when you get the whole skirt and all the table together, it's not going to bow, and it'll stay nice and sturdy and strong for a long time.
And if you had a 1x, then you could just use like little L brackets to connect it to. I've seen people do that. All right, next question. Do you pay for your editing services? Yes. So iMovie would be free if you have an iPhone. Adobe Rush is through our Adobe suite, but we use Adobe a lot because we use Photoshop for designing our decoupage paper.
I have the whole Adobe suite, so I like all their programs.
Yeah, so
for
we have
one price.
Yeah, we pay monthly, right?
Yes.
And then we get all the updates. So
it's like $60 a month.
It's 60
for Photoshop, Premiere Pro. I've got Lightroom.
Yeah, so if you were just starting out editing, I probably wouldn't use Adobe Rush. I'd probably just use iMovie if you have an iPhone or whatever your Android device comes with. But because I have access to Adobe Rush, that's what I use. And also when we're doing editing, like we want a really clean, fancy edited video, we use Premiere Pro on the desktop. And that's an Adobe product as well. I personally don't know how to use Premiere Pro, and that's why I edit on my phone.
It's actually really similar to Rush. Oh, you know what? I can pull this out.
Janine says they appreciate my mom with the Queen's wave coming and going. She's pretty great. She's not as happy about being on camera as my dad was, but she's getting used to it. The camera's out a lot.
I would recommend.
Eliza, do you need something? The cutting board, the one you did the strawberries on? I was like cleaning it because it looked like there was a traumatic accident.
So if you're going to be doing this and not
you really did a number on that
everything all the way down, because I'm only going like a
hammered my board.
Jamie. Shh.
What?
Hold on. They can still hear you on the mic having a conversation with Liza. I'm trying to tell them stuff.
Okay, you tell them.
All right. So since I'm just pre-drilling half an inch all the way down and I'm not actually countersinking the width of the drill or the screw in there, I would recommend using like an impact driver or, you know, putting this on the ground and, you know, maybe a Torx head screw or something like that. These are just Phillips. But the impact driver makes it so I don't strip my bits out and the head of the screw.
Ivy just dropped the link to the website. So if you want the cottage color that we painted the legs with, you can pick it up there. And Lori said she just ordered the sheep towels. I'm glad I told you about that. I will try to do it. Like I said, I'll try to do a shop tour next week. I might do a little video of just like a reel showing all the new products.
Sorry.
But no, it's fine.
That's where we're at today.
Renee says she's pretty awesome. Yep, my mom is pretty great. My mom definitely, you know how they always say like every parent has favorite kids and everybody always knows. All of us girls, because I have 3 sisters, we all think that we are the favorite because my mom always makes us feel like we are. Same thing with her grandkids. Like she is a popular grandma with the grandkids and everybody loves her. But don't let her sweet demeanor fool you. She can get sassy. The woman knows how to get what she wants. I feel like I learned a lot from her. Let's just say that.
It's a good skill to have.
I'm pretty good at getting what I want. Sometimes that requires effort on my part, negotiation, sacrificing, but in the end, I can figure out how to MacGyver whatever I need.
All right, so see how I've got this little board here in the middle? Which one's most dry?
I don't know that they can hear you, but see this board? That's okay because it's
going to slide down. I'm going to screw it all together. Tell him.
Deb's going to slide that down and screw it all together. I'm telling you for him in case you didn't hear because he's not wearing his mic because he's going to screw some more.
Yeah.
So, query. Could we move? You want to finish screwing that together over there, like on the floor or something, and then I can work on these table legs?
Let me put just these right here, and then I'll go do the rest of this. We could actually do it like off camera. You can finish the table legs. I can help you.
Well, I was hoping to show them the table upright.
Like if I hauled this outside right now, I could bust it out.
Yeah, go on the front porch. Because
Okay.
you got 14 minutes. I will distress the leg. I'll heat gun and distress the legs. Are your countertops wood? Yes, they are. So this is actually salvaged wood from the rafter ties in our house. So if you're new here, we actually bought a 1917 house almost 4 years ago. And we gutted the original home and we built by ourselves, like with our own little hands, 2,600 square feet addition. And so Zeb planed down the old wood, and we actually need to re-oil it with white oil wax, but it's just sealed with oil wax.
Yeah, it's getting worn because we do all the kitchen projects in here.
But we wanted a piece that we had pulled out to stay here, and honestly, I think it's going to last for a really long time. And wood is naturally antimicrobial.
All right,
I'll be back. Eliza, say hi.
Hi, guys.
That's Eliza. She just got back from cheer. I'll be back on the camera in a minute. But watch out for my plant.
Okay.
your show?
You're gonna take over my show?
Yeah. I'm hungry.
She's hungry. She's eating avocados. All right, I'm gonna heat gun this and we're gonna start distressing these. I actually think I need to touch up paint these in a few areas. The problem is Zeb has now smudging my workspace with wood. He's getting his job done. I'll just flip this over. Eliza, what's for breakfast?
Avocados and a croissant.
Avocado, like avocado toast,
No.
except for
No,
it's
just avocados.
just avocado. I know, but it's the same thing, same concept. All right, see if there's any more questions. Oh, impact driver. So there's like a regular screwdriver, and then the one that goes, that's an impact. It just has more power. I don't know that that was a really good like explanation of it, but that's what it is. So there's like the regular drill, and then there's the one that like makes a lot of like noise, and it's just got more. It's got more muscle, I guess you could say. It's kind of like if you're using a 20, a 22, if you're out at the shooting range and it's like bing, 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 it still shoots, right? But then you grab the 12 gauge and it's like boom. Okay, so same thing between an impact driver and a regular drill. They both drill, one just has more oomph behind it. What color? So this is Blue Hills, 1 3/4 pints of Blue Hills with 3 tablespoons of crockery. I just wanted to kind of mute it out a little bit, make it not quite so bright. And this is rated for outside, but we will go ahead off camera after we distress these, and we will seal everything with an outdoor sealer just to give it some more durability, because we get a lot of rain and snow, and we do not take our furniture in the winter. So we should. Maybe this year we'll actually cover it up. It always seems like we could get busy and forget. We always make more work for ourselves by not doing it right the first time. Okay, so this is the second coat on here. I'm going to hit this with the heat gun real quick, so at least Zeb has one to work with. Are you all done?
No.
Oh, I was like, because I am not ready over here.
I had to grab a big clamp in one of your just for measuring.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just second coated this one and distressing it. What sealer do you use? So we used to use Kills Clear, but I haven't used it in a while, and I don't know that I have access to it. So I am going to do some research, go to the hardware store and find a good water-based outdoor sealer. I prefer water-based because I do a lot of white, and you never want to use an oil-based sealer over white paint because it will yellow, and I don't want it to yellow. The impact drill is also called a hammer drill. That would make sense because it kind of hammers it in. Amy's going back to work. Linda says it's a gorgeous color. What type? Let's make sure I answered. I answered the sealer questions. Okay, we're good. And Sandy says she loves my explanation. We were at the shooting range last night, which is why it's what I'm thinking about. Getting a few things dialed in. Zeb did not get drawn for deer or elk this year, which is actually, I'm kind of glad about because I do not have a week to spend on the mountain. And our cow is going to be having a baby this fall, so not going hunting will kind of free up some time. I mean, we could buy an archery tag, but I don't know that he wants to carry a bow around the mountain again. The video got really dark. I'll see if Zeb can switch it. It happens sometimes when the lighting changes. I don't dare touch the camera because I don't actually really know how it works, and I usually make a bigger mess. Now is a good time if you guys have questions. I'm just sitting here using the heat gun. Oops, I missed a big spot with the heat gun. I know I've said this before, but if you do heat gun cottage color, be careful because it will bubble if you leave it in one spot for too long, or if you like heat gun a sealer. It's because of the built-in sealer. That's why it will bubble. The DIY paint very seldom will bubble. It's pretty good with a heat gun. Renee says it's cloudy. Leslie says it's not dark for her, and Alley Cat says it's all right for her. So I guess it's probably okay. Sometimes it happens like on the other end, like on your end, but occasionally it's us. Also, it is cloudy and rainy today. I'm hoping that Saturday when we have our party outside that it is not raining. So far it's supposed to be partly cloudy, but we have had pretty much rain every day for like a few weeks, which is not normal. Not normal at all for us. We usually don't get that much rain in the spring, which is probably why we have been in a really bad drought. Okay, so this is now dry, and it's going to dry darker because it has a built-in sealer. And I'm going to go ahead and distress it. You want to make sure if you're distressing, no, this one's a little bit lighter. You can see where it's wet. If you're distressing your piece, that you're using 220 to 400 when you're using cottage color, because it does have this built-in sealer. If you use like a 150, it's gonna make it look peely because of the sealer. This is not as chalky as like DIY paint or milk paint. So I'm just gonna wear it along the edges where it would naturally wear. Nothing crazy. This already has some texture to it, so that will kind of help me with distressing. Like I said, I did not make sure all the chippy original finish was smooth before I painted it because I wanted it to chip off when I distressed it. And over time, I'm sure it will get beat and distressed because it's outside. My thought is we'll probably every year, 2 years, come back and add sealer to it to protect it since we do leave it outside. Marlene says we get the rain down south that skips her house. So Marlene lives, how far are you from me, Marlene? Like 15, 20 minutes? Paula says, love the color. Rosemary says, I would love to stop in your store on our next vacation from Texas. My hubby is a paraplegic power chair and a scooter. The church is not wheelchair accessible. Maybe eventually we will put a ramp in, but currently it just has the original steps, the way that it was built. So we do not have a ramp, which is kind of a pain, but it's something that we personally have to put in. So we've got to save up to be able to afford installing the ramp. I'm thinking my plan is, I do have a plan because I want to do it. On the left-hand side of the main entrance, we have a door that we don't currently use, and that goes into like our warehouse. So my plan is to do a ramp into that door, and then people can ramp up that way and go through kind of our back room into the shop. And that, the nice thing about that, where I want to do the ramp, is there's a circular drive. So that can be for handicap parking, and people can literally just park right up next to the sidewalk, get out, wheel up, and go into the shop. So I do have plans for it, but I would say probably not until next year because we've got a long list of stuff. At least there's an option. Our last shop was an old house, and there was really no way, unless we completely blew out the front of the house, to put in anything for making it wheelchair accessible. The only thing is in the shop, because we have stairs that go up to where the paint and products are, that's probably never going to be wheelchair accessible just because of the layout of the shop. But the main floor area, we should be able to get that done next year. Good idea. That's what most of our period businesses and churches do here in Texas. Yeah, that was my plan. And I've thought about it a lot because my dad, even when he passed, he wasn't using a walker, but when he came here, he was using one. And we do have people that come in. Yesterday, we had somebody coming up in a walker, and I felt so bad. So hopefully next year we can get that done. If we do it, you'll see us do it because we'll make a video.
I got like 8 more screws and then I'm coming back.
I was thinking I might see if I can find like a ADA accessible like pro, like somebody who knows all the stuff, and then get that figured out ahead of time just so I can make sure that we're doing it right. All right. Sorry, I got distracted. Here is The first table leg is just slightly distressed. I'm not doing anything crazy to it. Like I said, it will get distressed over time, but because it's got some of the texture from the original wood, it wasn't super smooth. It does have a fun look to it. And this one, look at this table leg. You see that? That's where the banister went across it. And I like to leave stuff like that because it is salvage and kind of add some of the original history to it. We have a bunch of skinny ones of these, and I've thought about making little small tables with them. We'll see when that happens. Okay, I'm gonna second coat this one. Amy, Ann, and Tim says, thanks for all you do. I just ordered some cottage colors and transfers. Thank you. Vicky says, do I have a favorite of the 3 new colors? Yeah. My favorite is Americana. I mean, it's probably no surprise to anybody, but it's like a slim favorite where like sometimes there's colors that are a clear leader for me. And I would have to say Blue Hills and Crockery are just like a hair behind on the favorites. And actually for certain applications, Crockery hands down is my favorite because like there's just some things that it just looks so good on. And I wouldn't want to use Americana on those things. Like the statue that we did of the mom and the little girl reading, which actually sold, that looks amazing in Crockery. And anytime I want to make something look like old stoneware, like Crockery is definitely it. And Americana wouldn't be able to do that. And Blue Hills is fun because it's kind of moody gray and kind of bright. So if you just use it as is, it's a nice bright blue with a gray undertone, but you can easily add, like I did with this, some Crockery, or you could add gray skies and you could kind of tone it down, which I like. I like things that are versatile. I thought Crockery was going to be your fave. I know, but it's like so impossible to choose because I really do love all of the colors. We spent many hours and a trip to San Diego lamenting over the colors that we would choose just to make sure they were just right, because we need this release to be really popular so that way we can convince the warehouse that we need darker shades. So they have to start with a new base. And so far, I don't know, I haven't checked with Debbie with the other retailers, but I can tell you right now, we have sold a ton of the cottage color. We were actually completely out waiting on another order to come in. And I think it's being delivered today. We started freaking out because there were 2 boxes of our DIY paint that got delayed. And they were the ones with the Crockery and I think Americana in it. And we really needed them. And they're coming today. So we'll get caught up on those orders waiting for those. So we've had really good response to the colors. Vicky says, I have all 3. Okay, so JB Pena says, I just ordered my first can of cottage paint while in San Antonio. Any advice to my first time using it? So first of all, it's got a built-in sealer. So you want to really stir it up. The heavy, thick particles, I guess you could say, are on the bottom. So if you just shake it, well, it's not the pigment. It's like the thick part of the paint. But if you just shake it, it doesn't, yeah, the base, that's the word. If you shake it, it's not going to mix up enough and you're going to brush it on and be like, this is like water. You have to get those thick particles on the bottom mixed together. And if you mix it together and use it a few days later, it's not going to be as hard to mix, right? Because it's already been mixed. But if it's been sitting on a shelf for a month and made in the shop or in the warehouse for a month before that, it's really separated. So you want to mix those together well. Make sure you wash your brush really well. Anything with a built-in sealer is going to dry hard like a rock. So you're not going to want that. Oh, my table's coming in. And just be patient. Put your first coat on, let it dry completely before you put your second coat on. And I think you'll be really pleased with it. It's self-leveling, which is really nice. And if you heat gun it, be careful that you don't get bubbles.
All right, so this is what the top looks like. And we've been hiding the top from you the whole time. This is what it looks like here.
I gotta second coat this.
Okay, go ahead.
Can I have this corner here?
You can have the whole thing.
Okay, there's one that's already done and distressed for you. I'm still getting the other 2 done.
So I need a wet paper towel. I had some glue drip down through and I don't want to have to sand it later. Looks like we're going to go a little long today, a couple minutes long, but not much.
We might as well get it mostly finished.
So about an hour of prep. Jamie painted. So let's say it's going to take us about 4 or 5 hours to build this whole thing, get it finished, get it stained, sanded, and like total time.
Well, if we weren't live, we'd be done already. It is easier to paint. I could have sprayed the legs.
So I'm just getting.
But it's more
glue
fun to
drips.
talk to my friends while I paint. It helps make it not like work. It's more like just fun.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to flip this over and show you the backside. And even though the legs are wet, I'm going to poke them down in so you can see what this table is going to look like.
We'll start with the first leg that's dry, which is this one.
It is now very heavy too. This thing's sturdy. If you wanted
Did you want a dry leg? This is dry.
So these are going to hold the legs in. This skirt adds a tremendous amount of strength. And if you wanted to, if you really wanted to go overboard and just make it like super bulletproof, you could do more cross members in here. And if you did that, like this table will never bow, like ever.
If it was a bigger table, like when we build the farm table, we will. Because that's a bigger span.
Like you can have this table like 200 years from now, as long as the wood hasn't rotted. If you do cross members through here, then it's gonna hold so tight and so strong. All right. Uh-oh. All right. Got it. All right. I made it so it's tight. Okay, so I'm probably not going to do it on camera because we're running out of time and Jamie's got to finish these legs anyway. But that's peeling. Let's get rid of it. We'll sand that. I'm going to put a couple screws in here. Probably 2 screws in through this side and 2 screws in through this side. And I'm going to use that countersink bit so that I can put wood plugs in there. When we paint the skirt or stain the skirt, you won't hardly see those screws where they were at here. And that's going to hold that leg in really strong.
All right, I was going to put all the legs in, but I think we'll just do that off camera. So be sure to watch Furniture Friday. We will finish this up as well as build.
But if we put all the
a farm
legs
table.
in, I can go set it over here and we can show them.
Oh, okay. You're going to, okay.
Just a moment.
Don't
Just make
don't wreck
sure
them.
that this...
The bottoms are dry. I didn't put a second coat on the feet because that's going to be on the ground.
Yeah, well, and...
Okay, never mind. We're going to show you what it looks like upright. Don't judge my house because I have next week's thrift haul. I photographed it this morning and it's literally
We'll show them
piled
that
up.
direction.
It's okay. They know we work here. I got it all photographed, so it's just sitting over there in bins.
We're mid project on like 8 things right now. These legs actually look pretty good. These old balusters. All right, get in there.
All right, Zeb's getting in there.
I am getting some paint on me.
Yeah, I thought that might happen.
It's all right. I'm trying to touch them very
Fine,
minimally.
I got paint all over. People are like, do you get paint on your floor? Absolutely. There's paint on the floor. We're planning on redoing the floors in here. And when we do, we won't do that until we get our studio finished, and then we'll paint in here a lot less. Oh, I got drips.
See, I'm just trying to help you out.
Yeah, you're helping me out.
All right, so that's pretty tight before I even screw it in. Here, can you help me carry that? And then we'll be off camera for just a sec. Then we'll swivel it around.
Oh, you're gonna lose a
Yeah,
leg.
they're not screwed in, so this is going to be tricky flipping it over. So just keep it straight.
When you get paint all over my floor. We're coming back. Just a minute. That is.
I'll wipe it off. Okay, we got to. That one's loose.
That one's just loose. The other ones are not, so they're probably okay.
Yep. All right. So you can't set it down at an angle because they're not screwed in. So we got to plop it down on the top.
Holy moly! All right, now pop that leg in.
It stands on 3 legs.
All right, we're gonna move it around.
All right.
See what I mean? That's all the thrift haul. Whoa!
Should have screwed them in.
Yep. Don't worry, we got this. All right, I'm just gonna hold this because you got to push that other one over. We'll show you in a second.
All of this to show you like a 90% completed table. It just needs finish work. And these legs will come out easy if we ever need to take them off.
All right, you want to fix the
Yep.
camera?
All right,
Here's
let's
the
see if
kids'
we can
cereal bowls.
show you with the kids' breakfast over there. Liza just ate. The boys just ate. All right, there we have it. You can see that good. Okay, so I'll get the legs screwed on. We might paint the skirt like a white or something and stain the top. And then
Oh, that would be cute to do white.
Yeah, I think a white on there
We'll
would
have
be
to
nice.
definitely sand the top because we got blue paint on
That's
it.
okay. It needs
but
sanded anyway. So
I
it
think we'll
doesn't
just
have
leave it here
splinters.
till it dries all the way. We won't try to move it.
Just don't touch it.
Just leave it here for a minute.
I'll lift it up
While
and
we
you
eat
can pull all the
breakfast.
legs off.
All right, guys, JamieRayVintage.com for the paint and product shoes, as well as the new to JRV items I mentioned. And if you like this video, be sure to hit that share button, give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more.
DIY.
Bye, you guys.
Hopefully, watching that, go back and watch the replay. You should be able to build it, no problem.
No problem.
No problem. All right, you got that?
Maybe.
There you go.